Hi, I'm josephrlewis, and I write adventures. And once again, I've written another adventure. And that's what I want to talk about. Writing adventures, what's involved, how quickly and easily can we do it, and as the title of this video implies, I want to talk about how we can write and publish a complete adventure, a whole one-shot, in about 4 hours. So let's dive into that. So recently I challenged myself to see if I could write shorter adventures, more quickly, more focused, and nothing fancy, but straightforward things that are still fun and easy to run. And I came up with a little formula that seemed to work out pretty well. I made a couple of these things. And it takes me about, I would say, less than 4 hours, maybe less than 3 hours, to write and format and create and finalize the complete adventure that can be published and released. So I want to talk about that process and break it down for you guys. Step one of the process is planning. So I asked myself a handful of questions in order to figure out what it was I'm doing. So question number one, what is this adventure about? Now, you need to have a focus, a key. We've talked about this in other videos. So my focus, what this adventure is about for this new one, this one I'm talking about, is, if you can't tell from the cover, it's about slaying a dragon. Obviously, in our games, we spend a lot of times in dungeons, and all too rarely, I think, we interact with actual dragons, so I wanted to write a dragon-slaying adventure. My next question for myself was what monsters are going to be in this adventure. The reason being that I thought if I could pick the monsters first, then I've already planned out a lot of the adventure around them. I can just set up what goes on around these monsters, what kind of environments do they come with, what kind of actions do they come with, and that way a lot of the problem solving and the decision making would be made for me if I just pick monsters first. So what I did was, first I picked my dragon. I wanted the forest dragon, the green dragon. And then I just went through the shadowdark bestiary looking for foresty monsters. And the ones that I ended up picking were the rot flower, the dryad, the troll, the wheeled hag, some kobolds to go along with my dragon. And there's also some knights too, but we don't fight them, so we don't need their stat blocks. The third question that I asked myself was, what locations will I include in my adventure? And what I've found is that I think 8 locations is the right number for a one-shot. And that assumes that the players are probably not going to see all 8 of them. They're probably only going to see 5 or 6. And I think that works out pretty well for a one-shot adventure. So I needed 8-ish locations in my forest leading up to my dragon. And again, super basic, super straightforward. A grove, a hill, a cabin, a henge, a pond, a muddy pit, a boneyard, and the dragon lair. And that was it. So all told, this first stage, this planning stage, I probably spent less than 15 minutes doing it. I wrote, I think, almost nothing down, except for a couple of those words and names. Very few words, very few minutes. All right, step 2 in my process, after I'd done my planning, I then wrote the front matter of the publication, of the adventure. And the front matter is just anything that comes in the front that's not the actual meat of the adventure. So that's the description of the setup, where did we come from, how did we get here, things like the hooks and the encounters. So specifically, what did I write? You know what? I don't need to show you a physical thing. I can do it with images. The first page that I wrote up were random encounters, 10 random encounters, and made a little loot table at the bottom. So my random encounters were 7 monster encounters, 1 attack the light encounter where the wind blows and knocks out your torch, and then 2 environmental dangers where, tree branches fall and trees fall down and stuff like that. So real simple, straightforward stuff. And also, this is a small adventure. I don't even think random encounters are needed unless your players are really booking it through your locations. So there's a note at the top that says, you may not need these random encounters at all. And I don't think you will if you're, filling up a one-shot. You're just trying to fill up 4 hours. And also at the bottom, again, there's loot in the adventure, but sometimes, you never know, you kill an extra NPC or a goblin or something, and the player inevitably says, oh, I want to loot the corpse. And it's kind of sad just to say, well, he's just a naked goblin. He has nothing. So this is a little table, and you can see it's just, bottles and flasks and bags and stuff. And then there's 6 of those objects. And then inside, there are 4 things that can be inside the sack or the bottle. So you actually get 24 mundane loot things, but it helps you if you're the GM and you're trying to think of things off the top of your head. And it's nice to have just something you can glance at and either use as written or be inspired by and make up something else. So that's there. The other part of the front matter that I wrote is this introduction page, and that's a little bit of flavor text, just what's going on, what's the backstory. Again, it's super simple. There's a dragon and people want it gone. There's a little bit of physical description of this forest, which is just that the trees are very bloated and overgrown. They're too tall, and the canopy is blocking out the sun, so it's very dark. Generic stuff, animal sounds. Then I put in 3 hooks, straightforward hooks, help the villagers, find the missing knights, and there's a magic sword that's stuck in the dragon from a fight that someone else lost. So a couple of things that can get your players inspired to go and engage with the adventure. And lastly, I have a list of kind of generic descriptions of what the monsters are doing, disguised as factions. So we see what do the villagers think, what do the kobolds think, the dryads, the trolls, and everything, just little descriptions. So you have an idea as the GM going in when we encounter these monsters, like what's their vibe, what's going on. Very straightforward. All told, I probably spent about 20 minutes writing this stuff up. And altogether, both the random encounter table and this front matter page, about 500 words of text. So at this point, I have my concept, I have my front matter, I have a really clear idea of what's going on, and I can start the actual writing. And you know from other videos, I like to make lists turn into outlines, and then outlines turn into drafts. So I just did that super quickly because I've already have my list of locations and my list of creatures. So I very quickly just decided what monsters go where and why and what's going on, and I started writing. I only had 8 locations to write, not very complicated. And in classic Joe Lewis fashion, there's a little bit of read aloud text, Lewis style read aloud, which is just 30 words, prompting the GM of what exactly to say, what's happening here, what do the players see first, followed by some bullets with explanatory details about what's in the read aloud text. So each of these has about 30 words in the read aloud and about 80 words, maybe a little bit more, in the bullet content below. And after I've written all 8 locations, which took 60 to 90 minutes, an hour and a half, that turned out to be about 1,100 words in the final draft. Step 4 was to put the monsters in my adventure, and again, we're just taking the book standard monsters right out of the Shadowdark book. Thanks, Kelsey. So I just copied and pasted and then formatted into my layout. I think I had 5 monsters or 6 monsters. It was only about 400 words. It only took a couple of minutes to fix the formatting and make it all line up. So again, very light lift. The last section I created was this one column for treasures, and all I did was go back into the adventure text to the locations and found the magic items that I already invented that are in the different places, and basically just copied and pasted them into this one place so the GM could have a central place to reference if they wanted that as well. So all told, coming up with this idea and drafting the entire adventure and putting into layout even, my very simple MS Word layout, probably only took me about 3 hours. The final text is about 2,300 words. And at some point I also sketched out a map, which looks like this. Real simple stuff, no hexes, no grids, just here what the landmarks look like so you have a vague idea of what's going on. Very straightforward. And again, something that you could drop into your VTT and have your tokens move around just to have a sense of the space as you're playing the adventure online, if you play online like I do very often. I also play tested this. I played it with some of my friends and players. We had a great time. I initially was trying to fit it into 3 hours because I find 4 hours to be a little bit taxing. It came up, I had to compress some stuff. We actually kind of glossed over one of the locations they went to, and then I had to really kind of speed them up as we went through fighting the dragon at the end, the big climax. But we fit it in right at 3 hours, and we had a great time. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. There's clearly enough content there to fill 3.5 or more if we, let it breathe a little bit more and took some more time. But I was trying to get my players back to their lives on time because I promised them 3 hours. Also, as I was playing it, I was trying to figure out what level this is for. I didn't think about level at all as I was writing it. I was just grabbing monsters that I was interested in. Of course, it's a dragon slaying adventure, so I knew there was a level 12 dragon at the end. And there's always this tension of what is the right challenge rating or the difficulty level, because you want it to be difficult but not impossible, and you don't want it to be too easy. We're trying to figure out that Goldilocks zone of what is just right. I originally thought I was going to have fewer players show up, so I bumped the level up to 5. We ended up having a ton of players show up. I wish they had bumped it back down to 4. That's fine. So in the final text of the adventure, what I ended up saying was this is a level 4 or 5 adventure. On 4, you're on hard mode, and on 5, it's less hard mode. And again, you're a smart GM. You can figure out if you have more or fewer players, and if they are more or less min-maxy and violent, and how good they're going to be at fighting a dragon. So you can scale it appropriately and drop this adventure onto your players when they're at the right place for your table. So the playtesting was a lot of fun. I came away with a few notes and inspirations. I tweaked the text a little bit, but not much. And having put it in layout, I could, of course, see if my columns were full or not, and if there was space at the bottom. I added, some extra bullets of a little bit more explanatory data for the GM, or just a little bit more flavor text about what's going on in the location. But there wasn't much to do. The original draft that I made, and that quick write-up, it's pretty much the draft that's going out the door. So now, just a week after I had the idea for this adventure, it exists, it's complete. Look at this beautiful cover art. It is by Tania Herrero, a very talented artist. She has a game coming out very soon called Femoria. I encourage you to go check it out. I'll try to drop links for that in the description of the video. But yes, Tania Herrero's wonderful artwork on Let's Slay a Dragon. And this is free. It's available right now. It's on my itch page. It's on DriveThruRPG. Please go grab it, check it out, play it with your friends. Drop some notes in there. Tell me what you think of it. I'm happy to keep zhuzhing it and punching it up if there are tweaks to be made, but I think it's a pretty solid little one-shot. It does exactly what it says on the tin. You get to go into the forest and fight the dragon, which is all too rare. So I'm very excited about it, and I hope your players are too. So in summary, what is the lesson here? Well, with just a couple hours of pretty light work, you can create a completely solid, fun little adventure for your weekly game group, but also a completely solid, fun little adventure that you can publish for other GMs and other people to enjoy. It doesn't have to be super complicated. It doesn't have to be super fancy. Really, it just has to have a fun concept and a clean presentation, so it's easy to run and easy to read. And I think that's all you really need to do. And you can help thousands of gamers have a great time on their game night. So I think that's pretty fantastic. That's all my advice for this week. So good luck out there.